Kia ora e te whānau. We are back for another week of Sharpen Up. Later on the show, we will hear from Portia Woodman-Wickliffe. But for now, I want to start off on a little bit of a serious note. We're going to file a missing persons report. If anyone has seen Piri, can they please let us know? Because we haven't seen him for how long, you fellas reckon? Maybe 4 episodes now?
Yeah.
Wiki tuawha, I reckon, eh?
Gotta be.
He's gone missing. We're not quite sure where Piri, we miss you. We want you to come back.
Brother, I think he's been celebrating his win with Wainui Ngāhu e Whao Wainui o Matamarai. Times to go back to mahi, my brother.
If you don't know who we're talking about, he's a Māori, potentially 5'2", All Black legend. Maybe where could he be, bro?
That's a good part time.
Red Rocks.
Just in Makara.
Yeah, he might be out fishing. He could be... Oh, well, actually, the last time we saw him, the Canes weren't doing too well, were they? Nor were his Broncos.
The Hoi Hors. Yeah.
So, I mean, if anyone knows where he is or they've got a sighting, maybe tag us in social media if anyone's got any updates. Have you guys heard from him?
No, I haven't.
I haven't.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
So I hope the brother's all good. We'll catch up with you soon, my bro.
Join us anytime, Piri, honestly. Jordan, it's been a busy weekend for basketball.
Oh, yes.
But before we get to that, we've had a busy afternoon, actually, the Sharpen Up crew, the 3 of us here, Jordan, Uppy and I. Jordan, you laid the wet all down. What was that?
Round the World Challenge.
Yes.
And we're still looking for potential contenders out there as well. If you want to come and get the smoke, let me know.
Yeah, I got the smoke today, whānau.
Oh,
I really did.
Well, so did I, actually. I wasn't meant to be playing, but, I mean, how can you not?
I was quite surprised, actually. The bro only missed. And he had a bit of some different rules, some different thinking to what I'm used to. The jumping out to the free early sort of got me stuck in the mud over there. So that was a nice little change up, bro. But
yeah.
no,
We won't give too much away because we've got some clips coming for everyone to watch on our socials. But Jordan, we know exactly why you challenged us, I feel.
You know, you got to work to your strengths, whānau, and, put it out there knowing very well that this is a competition that I'm most likely to. But, I mean, I'm keen to do some other challenges as well.
Oh, what do you reckon? I mean, you can tell us in the comments what you'd like, but Uppy, rugby or league?
Well, my strengths is kicking the ball out on the full. A bit of goal kicking. We've got the legend Piri Weepu when he turns up.
Yes.
We could do a bit of a goal kicking.
Yeah.
Around the world challenge.
No run it straights then.
No run it straight.
Jordan, no?
No, thank you. No.
I'll have to come up with a netball challenge.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. I'll have a think of a netball challenge for us. But usually it's a shooting one, which is very similar to basketball. And as I said earlier, Jordan, basketball on the weekend, your sport.
Yeah, the Tall Blacks.
Yeah.
Making history. I think this is the first win against the Australian Boomers in 10 years.
Sure. Nice.
10 years is a long time.
Wow.
So shout outs to the Tall Blacks, to the brothers and all the coaching staff and management, and also all the supporters of basketball as well. So, I mean, I don't know, 10 years is a long time.
That's a long time.
So to be able to get that dub, boost the confidence, but it also speaks to the level of talent that we have here in Aotearoa. I mean, Shea Illy's returned back to the Wellington Saints Tall Black, but he was also Defensive Player of the Year in the Australian National Basketball League. So our level is getting higher. We're being recognised as well, so it kind of shows in our national team. So shout outs to the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, absolutely. That was down in Kirikiriroa. Do you think... I mean, we've got the Sales NBL, which you've spoken about, and the development of basketball, and as you said, players returning, but also the Breakers have been quite strong in playing in the Australian domestic competition. Do you think this has all been growing over, I guess, probably the last decade to allow our players, I guess, the opportunities and the exposure and to allow them to get to a place where we can go head to head with the Aussie?
Yeah, I mean, Australia, like people don't maybe not even realise that Australian basketball is very, very good.
Really?
It's very good in terms of the world. Like you look at the likes of Paddy Mills.
Yeah, true.
And I got a cuzzy. He's actually from the East Coast, bro.
So it's probably up his cuzzy
He's
as
probably
well.
up his cuzzy. He was playing a game of 21 against Paddy Mills in Sydney. No one touched the ball. Paddy won 21-0.
No.
And I think they played like 3 or 4 games.
Wait, what's
Wow.
21, bro?
So 21 is the first player, so it's all on all, to get to 21 points.
Yeah, just 1-on-1.
Like one on everyone.
Oh,
So it could be like
No.
5 players, 7, 10 players.
yeah.
Everyone's playing 1v1.
yeah,
And the first person to get to 21, it's a half-court game.
yeah.
And yeah, no one touched the ball. Paddy just
Did it
did it himself. Like as a measure, I suppose, for whānau out there at the level. And then you get the likes of Andrew Gaze, who's an OG legend, 80s, 90s. People still talk about him to this day, even in America. So for us to be at that level, as you've mentioned, and for our players, both Tāne and Wāhine, getting up there, it's like... It's nice. It's really nice as a basketball fan to be able to appreciate that. And then to see our breakers and to see our players in other teams, like shout outs to the Kazi Hiram Harris, plays for Perth Wildcats. We got a lot of Wāhine Māori in those teams.
Yeah, Ruben Tarangi, he's been playing over in Australia. He's coming back to the Breakers next season,
Let's
isn't he?
go. So I'm loving it. And I'm sure whānau out there, I mean, basketball participation levels, we got the Māori tournaments, we've got like every under 5 to... under 50, I don't know. But, hey?
Hey, sorry.
Hey?
What's this at Te Whānau? For those listeners,
Holy hecka!
the bro Piri, we're unsure if it's him. We haven't seen him for a while. We're unsure of what he looks like. But Piri might be just
Holy
calling in. Is it him at Te Whānau?
What's cracking?
Oh,
Holy.
here he is.
Oh, I'll tell you what, guys, I've been getting bloody FOMO. Bloody fellas having too much fun without me, bloody hell.
Oh, we've missed you, bro. I'm glad you called in because we were starting to get worried. We've been wondering where you've been. And is it because the Canes and the Hoi Hoa haven't been going? We last saw you and they were losing. What's been going on, Piri?
Come on now. Oh, you're lucky I wasn't on the other week because I would have had to give old Chiefs Mano over there a bit of banter around his boys losing to the mighty Canes.
Oh, it's great to have you, Piri.
What are you towing at the moment? Is there a boat on the back there or what?
I've just had to leave our First 15 training. Boys are gearing up to play Hamilton this week for the old Moeska Cup.
Oh, Mickey.
So, been doing prep with those boys. They got a bit of an earful yesterday from Matua Nemir about their standards and values that they live by, and they weren't up to par of how we played on the weekend. We got the W. It wasn't pretty, but we got the outcome, but the process wasn't.
Mickey.
Nice, Piri.
How's the celebration?
How's everything going, eh? I've missed out on all the bloody corridor.
You have.
How's the celebration since their league tournament?
We thought maybe you were still celebrating.
Still in
That's
the
why we hadn't
kick-ons,
seen you.
Nah. I've actually I'm looking to sort of pull back from the under-15s and not follow them all the way through. I just think that they need a bit more guidance from someone that can take them to that next level and actually winning a competition. So it's a tough one because I've been with them for 3 years, but I'll probably go down to a younger level, maybe under 14s, and try and start again and help those girls through. And at least we've got a few coaches that can filter through from there. So, the celebrations were short and sharp, and then straight back into First 15 mahi and trying to make sure our boys are ready to go for the Moeska Cup this week, leading into our first round of college sport in Wellington here.
Mickey.
Nice. Tell you what, it's nice to see you, Piri.
I'll tell you what, you're probably getting sick of those two hooers next to you.
What are you driving, Kel? Any car sponsors or?
Nah, but I want to know what the All Blacks did to get to her. Chances on a Hilux or a Land Cruiser.
You've probably got the hookups, bro, if anyone does.
I wish I had the hookups. We might have to dive into Jose's contact up in Kizzy.
Yeah.
They always used to get a car every time we went back to G-Town.
Well, Piri, while we have you, your thoughts on Super Rugby and how it's all going at the moment?
Oh, look, it's actually been tough to watch because teams are putting their best foot forward to try and give them the opportunity to play in the playoffs. So, I guess the toughest one this week will be Moana. I mean, they've got a tough finish for them. They've got Canes, Blues, and I think they've got Chiefs. And, my thing is, if they can get maybe two of those scalps, I have a feeling they could make the top six with max points. It's not going to be easy for them. But, I mean, their first crack at it is on Friday against the Blues. And, I just hope that they get the job done. They'll be at home in North Shore. And, honestly, the efforts that they've put on Aminati's been huge for them. But not only that, it's just the energy that the boys feed off from some of the stuff that he does. Knocked the little chip and chase twice, at least the second time it didn't get denied. But, I mean, for him to use his skill set and actually try and lift his team has been massive. And then, obviously, that final play, the charge down, against the Landers, that was massive for them. So, yeah, it's been I've been enjoying it. It's been good to watch. The biggest one is making sure that the Brumbies don't finish top of the table, because then that's a shit fight going to Canberra for any team to go and win. So hopefully the Chiefs can stay on top of the table, and then everyone else can go and smash them at home.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan to me. But they won't be beating my Chiefs though.
Your Chiefs actually did have a good win on the weekend over the Crusaders, 35-19. Piri, your Hurricanes, how you feeling about them?
Oh, look, I feel like the bye come at the wrong time for them. They've just got on a roll, and playing some good quality footy helps that they've been consistent with Ruben Love in the saddle, running the ship, and then not only that, the likes of Proctor and Higgins on the outside of him to rely on when they need it. When you need someone to carry the ball and get the boys over the advantage line so that they can play good quality footy, has been massive. Dupes has been amazing, huge for them. Peter Larko, I mean, that front row of the Hurricanes has been massive, and to get good quality ball off them so that the boys, the backs can actually, create opportunities has been massive. And it's going to be another big test for them this weekend, coming off the bye, and hopefully they still gel. I heard whispers that they were Mawiwi last week, and so hopefully they're gotten over their illness and fit and ready to go and try and crack it so that they can make it to the ship.
Yeah, because what are they sitting on the ladder at the moment? About 6, are they?
Yeah, they're sitting at 6 with I think the Blues have got they're ahead by 1 game, so they'll have a bye, I think, next week. So that's important for them to win. But I kind of want Moana to get the job done. How good would it be to see Moana make the playoffs? Whether they advance and go to the semis or anything like that, but I think the biggest part is this year's been a huge year for them, and they can take a lot away from this season, and from there how they can grow and get better moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. Uppy, Jordan, how are you guys feeling about Super Rugby?
Oh, you know me, meh. As long as the Chiefs don't win, I'll be happy.
They're rolling pretty good at the moment. The
They are,
Chiefs. To put a scoreline like that on the Satyrs, got to say they'll be hard to beat at home.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think the likes having the likes of D-Mac come back into the fold and running the ship. You know, he's enjoying the time and space that he creates, or that he's being delivered by his pack. Makes things a lot easier for him. You know, he's able to express himself, throw those bullet passes, have those little jinks here and there, and sneaky little offloads, and then to wrap it all off, when he's going to kick those goals, cheeky wee little smirk, you know. So, it's good to have D-Mac running the ship again. The question now becomes whether he's the starting team for the ABs, or whether they go with Bodie.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've got Portia Woodman-Wickliffe coming up as a guest later in the show, Piri. But while we have you, I'd love to pick your brain about the All Black Sevens and your thoughts on, because they didn't have a great season. I mean, they got their first Tonga, they came third, they got bronze in LA at that World Cup, but they haven't had a good season. Why do you think that is?
If I look back at when the Sevens team was actually his team, they had good ball players, but they had Muji, who would pretty much, you know, create something out of nothing. A little bit like Tuai. When Tuai was playing for Fiji, all the flair that he has, he doesn't need a lot of room, but it's just creating something out of nothing and allowing his players to be freed up because he's drawing in defenders, sorry. So I don't think we have an out-and-out ball player that can actually create something out of nothing. I feel like the boys rely heavily on systems, and now and then they might have a crack. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. That's just my opinion around it, that they don't really have a ball player or organizer, so to speak. Whereas with our Wāhine, I mean, look at Georgia. She just has to run across the field and turn defence out, and she's pretty much on the outside of them. But not only that, you know, she's actually looks. Let's be honest. She makes it look like she's just playing against bloody kids. The way that she's just ghosting around players and then start coming in to try and smash her, and she's just getting a sneaky wee tip on, freeing up her speedsters on the edges. But not only that, those girls work really well on the field. Like, if someone's actually going to take the ball into contact, there's a lot more urgency to get to the breakdown to secure the ball. And if not, they turn it over and they get themselves back into their systems in it. So, yeah, I think our men's sevens team probably just lacking that out-and-out ball player who runs the cutter and allows them to be a bit more free.
And do we have any players coming through, Piri, who missed out on selection who could fulfill that role?
Oh, to be fair, it's a bit tough because we don't really see that national sevens tournament that everyone enjoys going to. Like, you know, I used to love going down to Queenstown. It was a mean-as atmosphere down there. And then they moved it to Tauranga. Now we don't have it at all.
Bro,
I think they need to bring that back so we can see all the talent.
Bro, you know where they'll find it, bro? They'll find it at the Touch Nationals, I reckon. That's where, like, you know,
that's true,
the likes of Shawnee, you know, like these big ball players have come out of that sport, I reckon.
Yeah, and then sometimes they don't know how to tackle.
Yeah. They can learn how to tackle, though.
Well, Piri, it's been great seeing you, my bro. It's been great having you. We're going to let you go, but thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I hope someone kicks your fella's ass around the world for basketball.
Got us a wire before you go, bro. Piri's carpool karaoke. Piri's tiki tours.
Hey, I might have to leave it to my son to do my wire to tautoko.
the Internet Explorer's function. Holy hicka. Nah, good to see you, brother.
He gone.
E mihi ana kia koe Portia. Welcome into the Sharpen Up podcast. You're straight off the team bus, straight from training. You told us you had to wear your polo at training. We said, sis, sharpen up. But how are you, Portia? It's great to have you.
Kia ora whānau. Yeah, no, it's really awesome to be here. Excited for the series. Yeah, training was a hard one this morning, and then we had to go into gym, and we were supposed to wear anything branded, singlet or warm-up tee, and all my washing's paru so I had to wear this. So definitely not sharp today, no.
Don't worry, sis. We came straight from the basketball court into studio, so we're all in the same waka. I just, first of all, off the top, want to ask you what it's like being back at camp because you debuted for the Black Ferns back in 2013. I know you're raising your eyes, but now you're back. How are you feeling, sis? How is it to be back in amongst it?
It's really, really cool. And what I love and have always loved about coming into 15s is like the learning environment. And again, I'm back in after a long time, or since the last World Cup, and the program's changed again. There is like set menus and they're like pages and pages long. And I'm trying to like my hardest to write everything down, but they talk too fast. Afterwards, after the meeting, I'm going, okay, KV, what was that move? And what's the name of that move? And where do I go? Honestly, it's really cool. And that's why I love 15s, is coming into the environment and learning. Playing alongside the best players in the world, and I feel like a fresh little kid every time I come back in here. So I love 15s and I love this environment.
Well, speaking of that environment, our first guest actually was Braxton Sorensen McGee, who's an absolute superstar. But what excites you about her and getting to see that next generation coming through? Because you've probably seen it through her eyes, her first time playing for the Black Ferns and debuting.
Yeah, like Braxie throughout Blues, she just has this confidence and absolute calmness about her, right? Like, you would not guess that she is 18, straight out of school. But the cool thing is she's had rugby throughout her whole childhood, I guess, and she's just come into this amazing woman, just confident in what she does, can really learn quick, is learning on the go. But she is such a cool kid, and like throughout Blues and even that game over the weekend, she just thrives in pressure and can just produce rugby left, right and centre. So she's amazing, and she's not the only one. Like, you've got even Hannah King, like she's only 20. These girls are so young but so talented, and I think that's where professional rugby, professional sports, women's sports is going at the moment, that they're getting younger and they're getting professional right from the get-go. So it's amazing times, and I'm grateful I get to be around these players right now.
Mean. Kia ora, Portia, Tapi here. Just wanting to wind the clock back and sort of ask you a pātai about your transition into rugby. We sort of, Jordan and I learnt that you started off in netball and you're actually in camp in the Silver Ferns with Courtney, and just tell us about that experience and transitioning. What made you transition into rugby?
Yeah, so like, I guess if I was to look back like 12, 13 years ago, I was full gun into being a Silver Fern. I wanted to be in that black dress, playing alongside Coco and Laura Langman and Maria Tusea and Timapata George. Like, those were my idols growing up, and I was dead set on being a Silver Fern. And then in 2012, there was this campaign for New Zealand Rugby called the Go for Gold program, and it was just about like encouraging athletes from all sports, all backgrounds, to come and have a crack at this like training night. And I messaged Kayla McAllister at the time, and even Teresa Fitzpatrick, now Setefano. I think at the time we had Charlene Halapua I was playing with. I messaged them, I was like, guys, come on, let's go try it at one of these nights. And I loved it. Kayla loved it. We all loved it. And I think just kind of started tagging along to all the different camps. But I think what was the difference was that at the time for netball, I was still really young and learning the ropes of professionalism, professional sport, professional netball. And then there was this really new, exciting sport. For me, Olympics has always been the pinnacle of all sporting careers. And so I just saw it as an opportunity that I couldn't pass. And like, if I looked at my whānau, they're all rugby crazy. Dad played rugby, brothers play rugby. And I had always loved the idea of playing rugby, but Dad had said, oh no, You play rugby when you retire. You play netball first. You're going to go play netball first, and then you play rugby when you're retired. But when I saw this opportunity to play at the Olympics in 2016, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go full send for this. And I think it was definitely the best decision I made. I wouldn't be the player I am if it wasn't for netball. The footwork, the vision, the ability to run and catch and pass all on the go. Like, I definitely wouldn't be the player I am for netball, and I still love the sport. I'm looking forward to. That's why. Well, when I retired, I was really looking forward to playing a bit of netball.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm going to have to put that on hold for a little bit longer. So, no, the transition from netball to rugby was all about heart. I love the people, I love the game, but obviously the contact side was really different. I remember like trying to clean up my first ruck. I didn't know where to put my head. Like, what is this? What is this? But I was surrounded by some amazing, amazing players. Huriana Manuel, Lindy Tunu. Like, these girls had played rugby, played World Cups for a really long time, and I was just grateful that I got to learn alongside them. And the rest of the world was still learning how to play sevens. So it was an amazing transition, awesome, and really learnt a lot within those first few years, and then still learning now.
You spoke about your dad, and I love that your whānau, they always support you. We had Caleb Clark, he spoke about his dad being an All Black. Jordan's dad was a Tall Black. We want to know what it was like for you when you transitioned into rugby, it was like having your dad, and did you feel any pressure or any advice that he gave to you?
I probably didn't feel the pressure because he had finished his career as a rugby player. Like, when I was growing up, he was playing golden oldies for the Grizzlies at Glenfield, so it was all social. For me with rugby, though, I can do no wrong in my dad's eyes. I am the best of the best, and I need to bring myself down. That's what the team is for. No, so seriously, like, my parents are big supporters. His thing is just more about backing myself, and I need to believe in my abilities and my skill set. No pressure at all from him, just all support. Even my brothers, they're my biggest fans. Same again, I can do no wrong in their eyes. You're lucky I don't have a big head. I'm pretty much the other way, going, I'm not good enough at all. So I'm just really grateful for my support crew.
Portia, you've spoken about what being Māori means to you. What does mana wahine mean to you, not only in sport but in life?
Mana wahine to me is someone who's confident in who they are and where they come from, and it's okay to still be learning that, but understanding that we are proud to be Māori, and Māori is a superpower. Like, for me, yes. I'm grateful that I'm Māori. That's a superpower. There's no other country in the world that has what we have. So I'm grateful for it, and I think being mana wahine is being proud and being staunch in that. Whether you know your reo or whether you don't know your reo, you're still mana Māori, mana wahine. And I think the cool part is wherever you are in your journey or in te ao Māori or your whakapapa and all of that sort of stuff, as long as you are proud to be Māori, you have that superpower, and I love it. I love that I can represent it all around the world. You know, my pūkana turns up on all these different highlight packages around American fellas doing these highlight packages. I love it because it just sends the world out, or sends the message that mana wahine and Māoritanga is massive, and that's our superpower.
Kia ora, Porsche. Just adding in on that, you've been part of most of our most successful Wāhine's teams in the culture in those setups, in the rugby and the sevens. And do you think what impact does our culture have in those spaces? You've been in there, and what's it like? Our Māori culture in those spaces.
Sorry, but I can't quite hear you. I guess I understand that question is, how does our culture...
Yeah, what's it like being in those environments, and what's the impact of doing our haka, doing our waiata, behind the scenes, what's the culture like in that sevens and in the Black Ferns setup?
I think we're really lucky because we have players from all backgrounds, right? Samoa, Tonga, South African, Niue, Fiji. Like, we have players from all backgrounds, but they all know and they believe in that, the fact we represent Aotearoa New Zealand, and with that comes the culture of being Māori, and they are very supportive. I don't think they ever drop their lip when it comes to haka practice or waiata practice, or even within our vision, there's always aspects of Māoritanga in our culture and that. And I think what ultimately underlies all of that is just that we're representing New Zealand, Aotearoa, and they believe that this is the culture that we uphold. And with that, it creates this ability that everybody is accepted, whether you are Māori, whether you are Pākehā, whether you are Samoan, Tonga, Fijian, like everyone is accepted in who they are, which then allows them to be their authentic self. So whether you're the clown, whether you're the musician, whether you're the person that's got the mean jams on the speaker, or whether you're the toro one turning up late and missing things, like you're allowed to be that person because you are part of this culture and we're all uplifting each other. And that goes a long way, you know, like I think I've definitely been a part of environments where the culture wasn't upheld, the authenticity of each person wasn't upheld, and that's where things start to crumble. The culture doesn't thrive, and then you're not believing or backing the person left, right, and centre. So I think that is the most important part, is understanding the culture, who we're representing, whether it's your whānau, your iwi, your village, your ainga, like your culture, and then we work together and we can be our authentic selves. I think that is massive, and grateful that people can really absolutely believe in the Māoritanga culture side of it.
Kia ora, mean.
No, absolutely. And then, Portia, when you extend on that, would you say that environment, but also, I guess, your whakapapa knowing who you are has shaped the athlete that you are today and allowing you to be 100% fully authentically yourself in these spaces and allowing you to thrive?
Yes, I think so completely. I'm grateful I come from, my nana was an absolute character. She didn't need that inu waipiru or anything like that. She was a character. And then my nana on the other side, she is the full heart and she is the backbone of her whānau as well. And I think understanding those sides, and then moake tonu atu, like all that whānau that goes before you is encapsulated in this body you see here. So I am not here if it wasn't for them, and those characteristics that they all held creates this person here. And it's amazing to think that every single person, understanding who they are and where they come from, it creates this amazing backdrop of all the supports and mana wahine and tangata whenua and all these people coming up behind them, that they is just completely supported to be their authentic self. And I think also with rugby, people come from different backgrounds, and rugby is made for players of different shapes and sizes, and everyone is accepted, so there is no judgment. You're allowed to be yourself, and I think those are some amazing qualities that create an amazing culture.
Mean. I've got another pātai, sis. A lot of my cousins have been asking to ask you this pātai, and it's what's the secret kai that you have on game day so that we can feed our nieces on the East Coast so they can be like you?
Any kinners? Nah.
Do you want the professional question where you want to hear the one you want to hear, or the actual one? Because if you want like the nutritionist one, it would be good carbs.
No, we just
We want the pono one.
we want the pono one.
Yeah, the pono one. Okay, well it's pancakes with a lot of butter and cream and jam. Like honestly, carbs on game day is our key. That is our fuel. So they can have whatever they want on game day. Prior to that, that's when they got to be a bit more sensible. But game day, that's where we need all our fuel.
Mean. And what are your toppings on your pancakes?
To be honest, it can be just butter and maple syrup, or it can be jam and then cream and maple syrup. I get everything on there.
You're speaking straight to our hearts, Portia. I want to go to a time where you said that during that COVID time when you went back up home, Kaikohe, you're playing club rugby, and that really reignited your love and your passion for rugby. Why do you think that is? Because Api is a big advocate for grassroots sport, and we talk about it every week on this show about supporting our grassroots. What was it about going home and playing in grassroots rugby that reignited your flame?
I think for me there's two parts to it. There's my mum and dad are both from Kaikohe. Dad played for Taimai, but my granddad, my mum's dad coached the Kaikohe Rugby Club. So for me to go home and like follow in the footsteps of my tupuna, my dad and my whānau and that was like a dream come true, because we moved from Kaikohe when I was 7, so I never thought that would happen until later along in my career. So to go back to Kaikohe right after my injuries, like my Achilles, my hemi, COVID was really horrible. Like right after all of that was, I think, was the perfect timing to do it, because I got to reconnect with my whānau and being distant with them for all the rugby career, and then obviously COVID, but also getting to like follow in the footsteps that my dad was doing. I got to experience what it was like having to work and then go do trainings after work.
Because you were doing building, was it?
Yeah, I was trying to be a builder, so I had to go work at the work site with my uncle and then go training out at Kirikiri till about 8:30 at night. So that was like, oh my gosh, grateful for professional sports. But it was cool because I got to experience, like, my dad was doing the same thing and connecting with, I got to stay with my auntie out on the farm for those couple of months, like connecting with my cousins that are living up there, my whānau, all my nannies and aunties and uncles up there. Like, it was beautiful. It was probably more than just the rugby, but connecting back to my haukanga, my papakanga, like that was amazing. And then getting to play for Kaikohe, I think my first game I was more nervous than any other tournament.
Really?
Yeah, because it was home.
Yeah.
I was playing in front of my home. I was playing on my papakanga. Like, it was like nerve-wracking because of that. But I loved it. And then getting to step out onto Okara Park or Seminole Stadium, that was amazing. Like, I've heard stories about Dad and Uncle Fred and Uncle Richard, like the Woodman brothers, all playing up there, and like that was another goosebump moment. Like, getting to walk in their footsteps and follow in their legacy for that Northland Cody team. Like, that was amazing for me.
Just to add on to that, sister, is that something that you would, what would you say to like a young player who's sort of fallen out of love, you know, because as athletes we all sort of experience that at different times, and is that what would your advice be to those players who sort of fall out of love with their sport?
Yeah, with whatever sport you're doing, I think it's important to understand why you're doing it and what got you into it in the first place. For me, it was the people, right? Like, I love being around the people. The girls are amazing and supportive and they're funny, and it's more than just the sport. And so I guess understanding why you got into your sport, are you just doing it because you're good at it, or is it the people, you know, like, and is it the people that have supported you to get into that? Is the management, is it one connection that has allowed you to thrive and see the sport for what it is? I think, and if you can connect it back to your roots, or in some way just have that initial connection, what is it the first time, and that will get you through all those next times. I know it's hard. It can be really hard to understand even why you got into it, especially if you're just kind of following the pathways, and you're lucky enough to just make each team. That can be hard.
Yeah.
But I know that there's times when you're in your lowest point, there's that one point, that one memory that will get you through, and that's got to be your one point that will get you through everything else.
Nice.
Kia ora.
Now, sis, we know we don't have you for very long, so we only have a couple more questions. Here's one that one of the fans asked. If you could have one skill from another player, who and what would it be?
Dan Carter's kicking, because I have two left feet and I kick just go ping, 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 left, right and centre. So I would love to be able to boot a ball.
Well, Alpie's actually challenged us to a kicking competition. He reckons his specialty is kicking the ball out on the full. So we'll let you know how we go with that one, sis. Another one was, people call you the GOAT. In your eyes, who is your GOAT? Doesn't have to be necessarily rugby, but in your eyes, who is the GOAT?
Jonah Lomu. Jonah Lomu was the GOAT. I think just his rise to fame, what he did for rugby, and he created that professionalism, that professional game. Like, for me, he was the GOAT.
Am I right in saying growing up, you told your dad that you wanted to be Jonah Lomu, but then your mum was like, sorry, you're going to play netball?
Yeah, no, exactly that. I think I was watching a highlights package. Rugby was always on at our house, and I think I remember seeing him bowl over like those three people against England, and I was like, Dad, I want to be like him. I want to be the female version of him. I didn't even know his name at the time. And they're like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever.
Well, I think you've pretty much succeeded in doing that, sis. Jordan, you had one for Porsche, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, you kind of answered, kia ora, Portia, it's Jordan here. You kind of answered with the GOAT question, but now you talked about your highlight packages. Do you ever watch your own highlight reels online? Because if I had as many highlights as you, I'd be watching that all the time.
Honestly, my friends are going to give me so much shit for this, but I totally do, because I am so insecure. I need to see the footage and be like, okay, yeah, I can actually do it. Yeah. And I highly recommend anyone to do that, because in those moments when you're feeling insecure, watch yourself be mean. Watch yourself bump those people, tackle those people. Like, I 100% watch my highlights. Definitely.
Hell yeah.
And that's great advice. And it's crazy to hear someone who's accomplished everything that you've accomplished, Portia, to say you're insecure. So thank you for sharing that with us. You wanted to know, didn't you, Jordan, Portia's Rugby Mount Rushmore, your top 4 rugby players?
Top 4 rugby players.
Yep.
Okay. Jonah Lomu, definitely. I'm going to be biased and they're all going to be Kiwi anyway. So
Absolutely.
Jonah Lomu, Sarah Hiddeny. I'm going to be really biased here. This is,
No,
Jonah Lomu,
give it
Sarah
to us.
Hiddeny, my wife, Renee.
Yes.
And then Tanya Kolonivale. I've got to give
Nice.
you a in there. Yeah.
And we'll add you on there too, sis.
Oh, yeah.
We want to thank you so much for joining us. We know you're in between trainings and you're busy. You're in camp at the moment. Congratulations to you and the sisters. Absolutely dominated on the weekend. What can we expect from the Black Ferns for the rest of the Pac-4 series?
We're just going to continue on what we did against Australia. Hopefully we'll get some really awesome weather where we can play wide and see some razzle-dazzle with our back line and with our forwards crashing it up hard.
Oh, we love it. Thank you, sis. Enjoy. Good luck to you and the rest of the team. And we are backing you all the way from Auckland. We'll be there when you guys play in Tamaki Makaurau. But thank you so much, Porsche.
Thank you, Manu.
Are we rolling still?
We've had quite the eventful episode, haven't we? Piri chimed in after we put in a missing persons report. I thought Jordan went missing when Portia went missing.
I was just about to say that. My brain was starstruck.
I was starstruck.
I was like, had to look at him.
Straight
Are you
up.
breathing, breather?
I was just like, this is the GOAT. She's like talking to us. I don't want to like say anything out of.
Hecka.
And then it was my time to shine. And then I didn't even ask the question that I had planned to ask.
Mate, and I was like, oh, Portia, it's up here trying to be like a Fox reporter.
I just don't want to
I'm
mess
like,
up
holy
talking to the GOAT.
Oh, that was
my
crack
gosh.
up. And I was looking at both of you and
I'm
nothing. I was like,
getting
all
the
right, I'll
eyes.
keep going. I was like, jump in anytime.
Any part-time.
I think the Brave looked at me maybe three times. I was like,
I had to check you're still breathing.
Oh, I mean, but
Nah, yeah,
what a wahine though,
she's on.
right? Just everything, her whole korero. But what stood out to me was her saying that she has self-doubt and that insecurity. She's got her whānau who support her, who tell her she's great. But it's crazy to think you can be the GOAT, which she is, and accomplish everything she has, and she still has that, which I think is very normal in everyone. But like to hear, from athletes as well, be vulnerable and let us know. It was incredible to hear, I think.
Totally. Your whakaaro on that?
Oh, even that, in the fact that she was vulnerable enough and courageous enough, and it showed too in her taking that opportunity. It's like, oh, I'm playing netball. There's this thing happening over here. Let me go check it out. Boom, I'm the GOAT. Like that part as well, and that vulnerability you talk to. I know, like, Uppy's going to go home and watch his highlights now. But yeah.
I'm like that too. I've done a bit of that in the
Hey, you don't want to let the sis know. What, when you're not quite feeling that confident, just watch some highlights. Remind yourself.
Whole lot of balls out on the full.
Where am I striking the ball? Are you finished, Ray?
Yeah, bro.
I agree. Like, she had so many gems in that. Just in that 5 minutes, I was like, wow, that's a gem, that's a gem. And one thing that I really picked up from her was that sense of connection.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to explain, but I think as an athlete, I experienced that disconnection. Like, I needed to get connected again. And it's hard to explain what that was. Like, she spoke about some of her examples, but I think that's really important. As athletes, sometimes we can just get so much noise, so much information, so much pressure, and you just want to disconnect yourself from everything. And the importance of getting connected again to reboost you is one thing that I took away from that quarter from Portia. And I think it's so important to teach our young kids that too.
Yes.
You know, when you're disconnected, find a way to connect. And I'm talking authentic ways of, connecting with our taia, or connecting with people, connecting with whenua, those sorts of things are really important.
She talked about going home, eh?
Yep.
Yes.
And how big that was for her as well. So, yeah.
Yeah,
And-
that was incredible to hear that she said that's probably the most nervous she's ever been playing at her papakainga on her whenua where her dad, her uncles, her tupuna,
Yeah.
I thought that was very special to hear that.
And also, it's the other side too. It's seeing the reality of what other players, Piri spoke about it a few weeks back when he went back to play for Wairarapa Bush and he fell in love with the game again. And I'm sort of the same when I went back to my home, to Ngāti Pro, and I sort of fell in love with the game again. And I think that's so important to have those and mihi to the sis for sharing in such short time. That's my
Right.
first kōrero with her, which was pretty cool.
When you say that going home, why is it that you feel or fall back in love with the game? From your eyes, we heard from Portia.
From my, I can only speak on my experience, and for myself, I left Aotearoa at 16. Grew up in Kohangareo and Kura Kaupapa, so my environment was Te Reo Māori and Tikanga Māori. I went to Australia for 5 years, and that's where I felt like I disconnected to who I was, and I needed to come back home to my maunga, to my awa, to my marae, to my people, to make me realise, my purpose again, So that was sort of my experience, and that happened quite a lot. Like, I had to keep doing that. Like, I spent 10 years overseas, living in Ireland, London, and Australia. So every time coming home, that sort of refilled my energy. So that was sort of my experience. But I guess it'll be different for everybody.
And I know for myself and some of the other netballers who were born and raised in Australia, but whakapapa back here, for us it was always like we felt like something was missing and we didn't quite fit over there. And to a certain degree, when you're younger, you don't really know what that is. But a lot of us, I think without even really knowing, have made our way back here. Like, you look at even Amelia Kanasio, the Silver Ferns captain, like, she was born and raised in Queensland. But she's come home and all of a sudden, and when she was in Australia, she played for the Queensland Firebirds, but she wasn't a starter. She comes home, now she's the captain of our Silver Ferns team and has won a World Cup with them. And I'm starting to see it with some of the younger players now too, playing in the ANZ Premiership. They're starting to just come home, and I just wonder, I know I felt it, I wonder if it's because you feel like you don't quite fit there or there's something missing, and then just somehow you make your way back home and it's like things start falling into place for you as an athlete, because it's almost like, as Portia said, you can be yourself, you feel more grounded on your whenua, and you feel that connection, and it makes you be able to do what you've always wanted to do, but just more authentically yourself as an athlete.
Even what Maya talked about last week, and just her kōrero encapsulated exactly that. She could, she could play anywhere.
Yeah.
She could go to any country and play pro anywhere.
Yeah.
But the fact that she stays home
Yeah.
to help build community, to inspire the next generation, to put in mahi, to bring up the rest of the community as well. Like that whakawhanaungatanga element to it is real important. And you talk about coming home
Yeah.
and figuring out, this is me.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Sorry, I'm just shouldering the mic. No, I agree, but I also challenge that too, because our ancestors were navigators.
Yeah.
So we're always wanting to go and so I'm all about sending our kids to go and see the world.
Oh, yeah, same.
But the importance is the connection.
Yeah.
It's coming back to your root and giving back to your pāharakeke, giving back to your people, so that we're still growing. The potential within all of us. So, I like that whakaaro. So there's those who grew up away, who want to come home and reconnect, and there's those that have, wanting to go and see the world and go travel.
Yep.
Pancakes though, that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
What's your
That's
top
us at
thing?
Te Whānau. Pancakes all
secret.
around. That's the secret.
Yeah, that's the secret, eh?
Nice. I'll just touch on the ANZ Premiership because it did start on the weekend. Maya Wilson, who was a guest on the show last week, I tell you what, she was sinking those super shots. The Stars, they had quite a lot of injuries, but I just want to say it was great to have netball back. And after round one, the Pulse, they look good. They're from down in Wellington. They look very, very good.
Palmerston North.
Oh, they played in Palmerston North. Sorry. But yeah, they surprised me. They just looked, all round good. It's hard to know going into round one what teams and players are going to look like, especially now there's a super shot, so there's a 2-point shot.
It's good to know that.
Maybe that's our next challenge. We'll do some netball 2-point shots.
Well, we had Maya on, so I was like, I'm going to back the Stars. And then I seen the Stars play, and I'm like, I might go change teams.
I don't want of those.
But I'd be cool to, I don't know if the boys wanted to pick a team as well, because I'm keen to follow along.
So who you going the Stars?
At the moment, I'm going Stars.
And the Stars are good. They just happened to lose 3 players due to injuries in the first game. So they had no one left on their bench because they were in it up against the defending champions, the Mystics. So I think you're safe with the Stars.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll go the Pulse.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Wāhine Māori, major sponsors. And also one of our very own, Tiana Metuarau, had her 100th game
For the Pulse,
for the
yes.
Pulse in the weekend. So, I'm backing the Pulse. I watched that game. They were just way too good for the Magic.
Yeah. And plus you've got a lot of players from Manukura
Yeah,
get feature.
yeah. So Paris Mason is one that's currently in the Silver Fern setup, also at the Pulse. And as I said a couple of weeks ago, Yvette and Nathan Jury, they've done a lot of mahi at Manukura. Now at Tipene, and they're producing the goods with a lot of young talent coming through the grades. So.
Well, and your mum's had a lot to do with Manukura.
Yep, mum was at Manukura too. So, that's an awesome kaupapa. If you have any tamariki, shout out to Manukura. It's an awesome kaupapa. And then they can come and play for Ngāti Whara East Coast.
That's the pathway, eh?
That's the pathway.
I wanted to ask you, Coco, about the 2-point rule.
Yeah.
What's your whakaaro?
I love it.
Cool.
I love it. I think when we play our test matches, we stick to traditional netball because those games only decided by 1-2 points. And I love seeing, especially Australia, New Zealand, even England, Jamaica now, it's just hard one-on-one netball, traditional netball. But I think for our domestic competitions, I love watching our shooters just bank those shots. And I do think if you can sink a shot from that range, it is worth more than 1 point. Than a shooter, I guess, just standing under the post and getting it from short range. If I look at Maria Tutaye, she used to bank those shots for us back in the day, always worth more than 1 point in my eyes. So I love the super shot.
One, I like it too. I love it. But I just wasn't sure why the Magic, they were down by 10 in the first quarter and they just weren't taking the super shots.
It's the last 5 minutes.
Last 5 minutes. But even within the 5 minutes.
Do you know why? I can analyse this for you.
Let's get the breakdown.
No, it's because your Pulse defence were too good.
Okay.
So they knew that Amelia Reina-Canasio needed to get the ball in that zone and sink the 2-point shots for them, which she did all pre-season. So everyone had big money on the Magic coming out of pre-season because Mills could just sink those shots. So the Pulse defensively worked out their structure to not allow her to get the ball in the 2-point range. So she didn't even have really the opportunity. I mean, she still got 5 out of a whole 60 minutes of netball. But when they needed it, they were just blocking her and making the others have to work hard.
That's crazy, that adjustment from the Pulse then.
Yeah.
To defensively make that
Correct.
that play and knowing first game, but there's still, we've got a blocker here.
Yes.
We've got to play to stop this 2 point from
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I sat there on the sideline watching and went, they've got it figured out from round one.
Damn.
So, I mean, a shout out to the Pulse because I thought they were incredible. They stuck to normal netball. They just got their 1-pointers in as they needed to. But when it came down to the 5 minutes for the super shots, they just did not allow the Magic that freedom to take those shots.
One other thing I do want to add about the netball is I actually saw a coach running around, La Leota, in the weekend, who was Palmerston North raised too, and shout out to her. I think she's the assistant coach?
Yes,
or
for the Steel. So
the
she's
Steel.
come back from England. She's assistant
Cool.
coach. Steel had injuries. So Wendy Frew, who also used to play for the Steel, is the coach. And so she asked La during the week, would you be keen to suit up, sis? And La said, anything for this team. She used to play for the Steel. 40 years old, playing in the mid-court. So big shout out to
Hard
La for doing that. Your Stars, Jordan, they had 3 injuries, like I said. Their coaches, Temapara Bailey and Liana De Brain, who are both silver fit. I thought maybe they might throw a dress on.
How was the coaching rule, the sideline coaching?
I
in the
loved
box?
it.
Okay.
So they can get up now and there's a coach's box.
Oh,
and,
like basketball?
yeah, like basketball. We never had that in netball. You used to have to sit down. And so one of the players in the Pulse game got sent off. So the Pulse were down to 6 players. And as soon as she went off, their coach went and stood in that coach's box. And I spoke to her after the match, Anna, and because I was saying in commentary, I was like, the Pulse only have 6 players on court, but their coach is standing on that side of the court like she's the 7th player.
Presence.
And she said, I almost called for the ball, to be honest, because in the Pulse they didn't miss a beat because she just coached them through it. And she was almost like that extra voice of communication that they were missing while their player was sent off.
Wait, so you know how in b-ball, bro, it's quite common, quite common for a coach to get sent out of the arena.
Yep.
Does that happen in netball?
No.
Never.
But it might now.
Never. Like you
never.
can't. Ah, okay.
Never. But it could happen perhaps now if where the coaches are in that box are going to be right next to the umpire. So we're all waiting to see if anyone has a cheeky little word.
It's a fresh brand of netball
Yeah,
too,
I
eh?
like
So it's
it.
exciting and I'll be interesting to see, bro.
Yeah, well, the Mystics play the Pulse this Saturday at Trust Arena. It's a grand final rematch. It'll be on TVNZ. I'll be there, so make sure you watch that one. Right, let's wrap it up with our sharp as or sharpen up moments of the week. What you guys think of that, Jordan? Local club rugby, everything started. Have you had the call up? Have you played?
It's not happening.
Okay, we'll let it go.
It's just not happening. I think, I've just been bombarded with projects to sew and stuff like that. That's what I'm telling myself. But yeah, so no highlight reel packages this year for me.
We'll just stick to the ones of the past. But a big shout out to everyone who's playing grassroots, local sport. Right, our sharp as or sharpen up moment.
I've got 2 sharp as moments.
Let's go.
Rookie Metcalf.
Yeah.
That field goal and his performance in that game was top class. I'm a big fan. It's growing on me, the bro. And also watching our first guest ever, Brack, score a double in her debut for the Black Ferns. She is a future star, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her growth and perform in the years to come, many years to come.
Nice.
My sharpen up moment was, I don't know if you've seen it, but Jerome Luai's papa.
Oh, yeah.
Fill me in.
He straight after the Tigers game,
They lost to the Storm 64-0.
64-0.
Donut, eh?
He uploaded on his story. What was it again? He uploaded, what was
It was like get out clause activated.
Get out clause.
Contract get out clause activated.
And it's been screenshotted and shared around socials. So to the matu, it's a bit of a sharpen up.
To all the parents,
Yeah, but those are mine, bro.
I got 2 sharp as moments. First one's just a local sharp as moment. Shout outs to the Pātero golf crew out in Rahui Pōkeka. They've been doing some stuff out there. Seen the brothers getting out there, getting active on the golf course. I'll be out there soon, brothers. And then my second sharp as moment, Navajo Sterling.
Yes.
Out there representing on the UFC, on the
Whānau
world
Apanui.
stage. Whānau Apanui, shout outs. That was mean to see the bro. What a machine. I think he must have about 0% body fat on him because it made me feel real large on my couch watching the bro. But yes, my sharp as moment, Navajo Sterling, cheer my bro.
Chi.
Yeah, no, and so he actually was at the Stealth Fighters League the week before. He gave us all the interviews. He showed up, supported the local fighters, and then literally flew out the next morning to Montreal, to Canada, for the week of UFC. So a big shout out to the bro. Congratulations to him. And to finish up my sharp as moment won't just be, but our Black Ferns winning. I mean, we mentioned it. We had Portia, Braxton, absolute superstar of the game. And a big thank you to Portia. Congratulations to the Black Ferns. And hopefully they just win the whole Pac-4 series and they'll keep riding all the way to the Rugby World Cup towards the back end of the year. But that's us at Tefano. I mean, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Piri, for showing up.
F10.
Episode 10, and a big thank you to Portia as well.
Che.